I'm gonna start with David Benavidez on this one because I feel like people don't realize at a young, very, very young age, he's taking the Andre Ward route, and he's doing what other people would ask a boxer to do: to fight the best available fighter right now at 168. If you can't find that fighter, you should go to 175, fight Bitter V, things like that. Well, that's what he's said he's wishing to do soon. And people are really starting to get quiet on David Benavidez, on the Morrell thing, and he don't want to fight this person and that person. But when he's naming Bivol and Benavidez and all these other people, people start to get quiet now. I don't know, like people don't realize he really like that. I don't know if they think it's just a persona he puts on. He's really like that. The way Charlo's walk around and rah like that, that's how Benavidez brothers really are. They're not really putting on the front like that. That's why most people don't like his dad, because his dad walks around that same way. And his son's undefeated, so I would walk around that same way too. So it hurts to be the other guy who's on the losing side, so it is what it is. But as far as him, his career, he's fought very good fighters. A lot of guys that he's fought and beat, that's really like, let's just say he's fought a couple of guys that's like 160 or even 54. Guys at 54 and 60 don't want to fight those guys. And the ones who have, I think they might have retired a couple of fights after that. So these ain't no easy fights he's taking. I know this. But for him to say, yeah, I'm going to go to 75 soon, past the Canelo stuff, I'm not really going to pay attention to that, that's going to hurt boxing. Because that's another fight, big fight that y'all could have watched. Y'all could have seen that fight instead of Charlo. Could have been Benavidez and Canelo. We was asking for that fight for 2 or 3 years now. But people said, nah, we'd rather get the Charlo fight. We'll be satisfied with that, which is cool. But now you're still wanting another fight. The fight you did want, or you accepted, it was no good to you. But you're going to blame Charlo. It's not Charlo's whole fault, because Canelo was supposed to know, oh, this is the fight the fans want. That wasn't the fight the fans want. The fans even, I'm going to even agree on this. The fans didn't even want to see the little brother. They wanted to see Big Charlo. Like, even when we heard it announced it was Big Charlo, then it switched to Little Charlo, people were like, so he's going to fight the smaller brother at 154? Benavidez isn't doing it. He's going up to a higher weight class after this soon. He's taking the biggest fight right now. Andre is the biggest threat right now. You have promoters out here saying this is a 50-50 fight. Canelo, oh, it's a 50-50 fight. Canelo gives props to people who isn't fighting him. For some reason, the horrible fighter is a good fighter when he fights somebody else. I mean, people don't see through this, and I'm not finna let Canelo slide with this. Quit repeating what Charlo says. I'm really not liking that now. He keeps repeating stuff that Charlo said. He said, oh, Charlo got in the ring. He didn't even try to fight back. He didn't even do anything to try to win. And that's the guy you picked to get in the ring with you. You've been boxing all your life. You didn't know this guy wasn't going to fight back like that? Y'all say y'all supposed to be boxing experts. I've been boxing all my life. If I was to talk to Canelo right now and say, hey, man, I know so-and-so, he good. And Canelo's like, he's not that good. He's not that good. You know what I would say to Canelo? Did you know Charlo wasn't that good when you got in the ring? Did you know he wasn't going to fight you back when you got in the ring with him? John Ryder fought back more than Charlo did. Did you know that? That's what I would say to Canelo. If he say, yeah, I knew that. Well, you picked a sorry fight, bro. Just so you can say you be the champion. You picked a sorry opponent, man. And that's what people have to realize. These boxers and promoters, they don't know how good other people really are like you think they do. A lot of them do, like Canelo, he really does. That's why he'll say, oh yeah, Benavidez, he's a horrible, he's not worth it, and who has he fought? Andre Durrell is the only champion he's beat. Come on, man. Really? And we're accepting these excuses. But then these the same guys that's going to get their whole family to get in front of the TV around Thanksgiving. And I bet Canelo going to be watching Benavidez and Andre. I bet you. He going to watch from the beginning to the end. He might rewatch it that same night. But these are horrible fighters, though. Y'all don't see it's the cool kids type of thing. I just got to keep it that way. That's the only way I could just get everybody to realize it. It's the cool kids table. You know what I'm saying? At some point, it was Triple G. Now it's Genovic. You know what I'm saying? They just throwing different names out there, but the same type of guys. You got guys who never fought a champion before. They'll be like, oh, so-and-so's a horrible fighter. Oh, really? He's a horrible fighter. Okay. Right? So what about the guy who couldn't win around against you? He's not a horrible fighter? Oh, okay. But that's all I'm saying, though, as far as with the Benavidez stuff, because Benavidez has put on a long track record. Him taking these fights, he got to fight Plant and Andre. And you're hearing guys like, man, I don't know if Benavidez could be able to get this done. Exposed. You don't know if Benavidez can get this done. How good is the guy he's fighting? So you telling me the guy he's fighting, you know he's been good this whole time. You work for ESPN. You've known this whole time that he was good. You haven't said anything. So y'all have to realize these boxing commentators and these ex-boxers and things like that, these guys is paid off, man. They sitting around here talking about this guy's not good and this guy's not good and I don't know about that guy. He hasn't fought anybody. But as soon as Benavidez gets in the ring with Andre, oh, yeah, Benavidez, you know, he's taking a very, very hard fight. He's been taking hard fights, man. Like, what? I don't know if people realize that, what they be saying. Like, the same fights Benavidez trying to have a 24, other guy trying to have a 34. Oh, that's my career fight. He like, no, that's just a fight to me. Ain't no career fight, nothing. Yeah, Canelo top dog, but I'm not finna wait around on him like Charlo did, hold up a whole division. I'm not finna do that. See, that's what people don't realize. They complain about the stuff. Benavidez is opposite of what Charlo is. But people don't want to gravitate to that. They want to try to cling on to, oh, his dad. You know what's crazy? I realize this too. So let me ask everybody out there, whether you're Hispanic, whatever you are. So if your dad is a piece of crap, does that mean that I don't gotta like you? So ask all y'all right now. So are y'all parents perfect? Can I judge y'all off y'all parents? So if your parent is being just the worst, that means I can say you the worst and tell everybody that you the worst and you ain't nothing and you do too much. So that's how the rules we going. That's soft to me, man. For real. That's soft. That's soft. Your mom say something crazy to me, then I gotta disrespect your whole family. Come on, man. That's soft, man. A lot of these boxing fans are soft. They know Benavidez is a threat. And most of y'all who say that, you're a Canelo fan. If you're a Canelo fan, that's cool and everything. But last time I checked, Canelo has lost recently. I don't see y'all too mad about that. And I've seen a lot of y'all boo him at fights lately. He got booed at the John Rock. Well, I don't know if he got booed at John Rock fight. I couldn't really hear the sound in the background. But I know he got booed at the Bivol fight. He lose one fight, he got booed. I don't want fans like that. He can have those fans. I don't want to get booed if I lose one fight. And I went up in weight class to try to fight the guy. I don't want to get booed because of that. I don't want those fans. So if you are a fan like that, please stay away from me. I don't want none of that crazy nothing. I don't want none of that. Because the way Benavidez has been standing on his name, he's proved himself more than anybody during the pandemic. Go back and look. Nobody was fighting more than Benavidez during the pandemic. Like David Morrell running around here jumping around. During the pandemic, David Morrell's name was coming up all the time. That was one of the second, third names Benavidez would always say. Canelo name always came up. Charlo name always came up. Why you think he's a star now? Bro, we all heard him during the pandemic, bro. He was promoting like I don't know what. It's not a YouTube channel Benavidez hasn't gone on. He has promoted himself to the max. So for people trying to act like, oh, well, this is a tough fight he's taking. He's always wanted to take the tough fights. But he just shows now that even though if you're in PBC doesn't mean you're going to get PBC fights. Those lies are lies. You're not going to get a PBC fight with a PBC fighter. David Benavidez has been over there the whole time and still hasn't got PBC fights with the top PBC guys. Caleb Plant had to fight him. If not, he would have got moved on. They were already trying to discuss Andre with Plant. And obviously, as you can see, Plant hasn't brought up Andre's name one time. That automatically puts David Benavidez over him, period, with a win or a loss. A win or a loss is not going to dictate David Benavidez's future. He can have 2 losses to Andre. He can have a loss now and a rematch loss. And guess what? He's still going to be a top fighter because he's taking the top fights. If he go out there and beat Canelo after he loses Andre, then what you going to say then? He's still going to be a top fighter. He's taking top fights. This is what we want. I don't care about no win or loss in this situation. Both of these guys still going to be stars after it's over with. But I hear the fuss and the mess because a lot of these people coming out of nowhere with all these hypotheses and predictions and trying to say, oh, people don't know how big this fight is. No, you don't know how big these fighters are by themselves. They don't need each other to be big. They were big before they stepped in the ring or stepped in the press conference with each other. We need to start giving people respect, man. This young guy's put in way too much work. Way too much work. Nobody around his age group is doing what he's doing. Well, Devin Haney is, but that's about it. As far as his age group, I'm saying his age group. And nobody's doing what he's doing. Nobody's doing what he's doing. Well, I say Jesus Ramos. Jesus Ramos doing what he's doing, but that's about it though. They're a new era. They're showing these young guys now, this is the new standard. If you're not doing this, you're not going to really get to the level that we're trying to get to. We're trying to fight the top guys. Whether they're on another company, with this company, if it's another guy. Bro, David Benavidez is the only guy to step to the table on Andre. That's very impressive to me. Any other fighter at 168, I don't want to hear you. I'm just being real talk. I don't want to hear about why David Benavidez ain't doing this. If you at 168, make your own way. He making his own way. He's setting the standard. That's what you're going to have to do from now on. Because it's a new day coming. As you can see this year, the fans don't really care about who's fighting. If you're not having a big fight, they're not going to really pay attention to you or promote you. And if you do have a big fight, you better show up. So that's a lot of things that people starting to realize. Like Charlie was like, oh, y'all finna get a payday. Y'all finna do this. And my name going to be all over the place. I was hearing them. Bro, go back and listen. Bro, I'm going to give y'all some gems real quick if you still listen to this video. Go back and listen to Charlie when he was on the little documentary build-up, whatever it is, called for Showtime. When they was going around filming them. Look at how he was when he was on the plane. Canelo is this, Canelo is that. I'm like, bro, is your last name Charlo or Canelo? Like, what is this guy doing? But Benavidez won't do that, though. He talks like a man. He don't talk like, oh, well, he gives people his respect, but he also says, I'm that guy. You know what I'm saying? He's a Mexican monster for a reason, and will always be, with win or lose. I'm just telling you. The dude's a monster. He's fighting everybody. This goes to show it. You got a lot of promoters around here. And, I can't really poo-poo on Eddie Hearn because he did sign Demetrius Andre before a lot of guys was on the zone. But as you can see, they got to be forced to fight this guy. And David Benavidez is the only one who's strong enough to even sit at the table with this man. Nobody else wants to sit down, do any paperwork conversations with the fight, try to work out contracts. None of that. It just, man, dude's looking for payday. You got Plant running around saying he wants Canelo or Benavidez if Jamal Charlo is not an option. You got David Morrell. He just now saying something like, people don't say my name or call me out. You got 9 fights, bro. Nobody's going to call you out. You got 8 or 9 fights. Nobody's gonna call you out. I'm just gonna tell you. Demetrius Andre got 20-something, 30-something fights. Nobody's calling him out. So, yeah, like I said, nobody's gonna call you out, bro. So if you ain't on that, you're gonna be broke and you ain't gonna have a fight. Especially with PBC, because Benavidez, he's not even fighting the guy who's been with PBC. He's fighting the guy who just came back to PBC. So that just lets you know right there how much available talent actually wants to fight each other over there. That's all I'm saying. People say, well, you know, PBC got the top talent or he got the best talent. Well, the best talent needs to fight each other. And they put themselves in a position where now you got to have Benavidez or Andre, if he is going to be with PBC, you got to have them carrying the torch now. Something you should have been did. You should have been put Andre and Benavidez in the driver's seat. Now you took the power from Charlo and other people, Spence, Stephen Fulton, and you giving the power away to other people. Now you got to have Benavidez. He's the guy who has to now carry the torch for PBC to make sure that the competition stays and the fights stay coming through 168 on that side. Because, bro, as we looking now, after this situation, Canelo could leave next September with all the belts, defeated most of the best champions in PBC, and he can be gone. And they can have nothing left. That's why people have to realize that those losses, having a big fight and being on the losing end of those big fights are really, really, they hurt your career real bad, especially when you've held out for so long. Now, let me give an example. Let's just say Spence, this was 4 or 5 years ago, Spence lost to Crawford. Then he turned around, fights to Keith Thurman and beats him. It's not really a big of a deal. But when you drag out your career and there's so much space in between, like Canelo. Look at Canelo. People not thinking about Bivol fight right now. They're thinking about, oh, man, he just smashed Charlo. You got to have a quick turnaround with fights. You got to keep going, having big fights. That's what Benavidez is going to be able to do. He's going to be able to, oh, I got a loss? Okay, cool. Let me keep it pushing. If I run into that guy again, then it'll be a problem. But that's all I got, man. Like, subscribe. What you say, Byron?